Aorta, my love, my life, my big rock in space. So we're back on Aorta. One of my favorite maps. And it looks like the people are already commentating on the quality, the just sheer phenomenal fucking weirdness of this thing. Team 1 ANS, Team 2 OSP. Team seem pretty well rounded skill wise, and it seems like not a whole lot of people are familiar with this map, which is great. Oh, hey, there's someone. Which could make for a very interesting game. Now, look at this ANS team. Hard focusing the inside of the map. Don't usually see that. Most of the fighting happens around Charlie, Echo, and Alpha, this open area, because I guess it's because it's more comfortable for people to fly around it. But I'd be real happy to see some fighting in the channels up and around Delta and Bravo. Oh my god. What are y'all doing? See, now that's just hard trolling, because you're sacrificing these points entirely, going for hard military victory. Of course, the Protector team is spread out pretty decently, so they might be able to... ANS team might be able to come around through Delta, Alpha, Bravo, and then just completely annihilate half the OSP team. The old Doom stack. Of course, we'll see how well that goes. This is that's a ship from Swag Gandalf or Swagandolf, which just excellent, nice name, good picture. Look at that little picture. That's pretty funny. Okay, he's bringing the anti-rocket missile. Just one of them. Just bringing a couple of pretty standard gun voxels with torpedo launchers on the backpack. And a Sport E-War Reigns. Pretty standard. Nothing too exciting. Got a combat keystone with a mass driver. And a bunch of... Oh. A couple of torpedo frigates. A lot of torpedo frigates. Some with... Let's make sure those are torpedoes. Yeah, they are torpedoes, not hybrids. Very interesting. Doesn't look like... Well, there are a lot of Ocellos on the opposing force, so that could come in pretty handy. Torpedoes are good as monitors as well. Cannon, a beam turret, or a beam cannon, a normal cannon, and then defenders. Aha! And a missile ship. That's an interesting combination. Missile voxel with a pair of beam keystones? That's really weird. Oh, and we have someone repping the Solomon with beams! Beam Solomon! Okay, that's a great ship for this map, I think, with especially down here, because you can use all this cover to get in close and then just cut people to shreds. With a support AMM ship, presumably. Oh, just chaff. Oh dear. 42 chaff. That's a little overkill. Okay, let's hop over this team. Gunned, very gunned up. Oh my god. What is this? So this is an absolute monster. Just guns, guns, and more guns. On this Ocello, a whopping 3 point defense turrets, flak, and 1 bullseye radar. Of course, 2 of those guns, quote unquote, are rocket launchers. Oh man, this is gonna ruin someone's life. Assuming it doesn't get missiled by that missile voxel first, or torpedoed by these frigates. Ooh, there are a lot of missiles on the ANS team. Going light on the point defense might bite this guy in the ass. Yeah, he's got 2. These are just clones. Okay. Plasma T-30 monitor shark group. Yeah, bastions and grazers, pretty nice. Could be very strong against that Solomon. Sarissa's on this one, on this Ocello, so if he sticks close, well, they're not that close. Other. Okay. Mass drivers. What an odd build. Robert Saunders has a fairly standard, maybe over point defensed solo, and then a couple of mass drivers and a scout. Very odd. Alright, is this going to be gunned up as well? No. Okay, so normal PD here. Plasma and normal cannons. Some 66s, some 65s. This little group can take on a lot of different threats. You just got to be careful with the positioning and not get overwhelmed with these guys, because the Cellos are pretty vulnerable to a lot of things. But if these two OPA guys stay close together, if this guy with a decent point defense and the dude with the whole booty load of guns sticks together, they can actually annihilate people. Of course, they're way far away. They don't know it yet. But these guys are all quite far away from from any potential combat. I think this Voxel's just gonna cap this point and jet. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. OSP shuttle, the only shuttle on the map, I think. Yeah, that's kind of weird. OSP is pretty heavily tunned for what we usually see with shuttle spam and tug spam and just people being silly. Silly. Yeah, that's very interesting. So, well, I would say a point game could go the ANS's way because they have all the fast ships. They're not using the fast ships. What is this? What are you doing with these? They're not using the fast ships to play the point game. They're trying to be cute with them. I don't think that's going to work out because they're going to get on top of the map. Nothing's going to be up here. They're going to have to burn all the way over to the other side. These just have standard drives on them too. Yeah, they don't have whiplashes. It's going to take a long time for them to get into combat. A long time. Who's a sexy sloth? Well, slothful you're being. That's unfortunate. I don't know, they could just appear at a very inopportune time, but you want these guys against these guys, not against these monitors. Although, these monitors are probably, yeah, they're very under point defensed. So, they could do some work. I don't know. Where is this going? It's just a Mark 1 JK riposte. Not sure if that's like a... JK is just an affix that this guy put on there, or... Okay, so it's definitely an aim, and nothing has that little range that is offensive. Or, well, nothing should have that little range and is offensive, but you can do anything in this game at the end of the day. You never know what kind of weird things people are going to get up to. I think this beam ship is getting... Yeah, it's getting into view of these Ocellos. I don't know if this player has noticed that he's picked this up. They might not have very good radar. Am I blind? Does this guy not have any radar? No, spyglass. Okay. You can definitely see the Solomon. Although he probably doesn't know it's a Solomon yet. It's just a point. A pip. Could be anything. Solomon has... God, there's so many internals on these damn things. Where's your radar? It's front line. I didn't see if anyone on either of these teams had any intel. That's what I start looking for. I doubt it. Most folks don't like to bring intel, even though it can be very useful to get the drop on your enemy in knowing what exactly you're fighting, and therefore knowing what fights you want to take and what fights you don't. Missiles going out. A missile going out. Well, this isn't going to do anything. One hybrid doesn't cut it. By the way. Unless this is just a phenomenally designed missile, but... yeah, it's gonna pass over this rock and then get shredded by point defense. Alright, cool. The legacy of the man who makes wrong predictions continues. Man, that dealt a lot of damage. That's good. Yeah, that was a well-made missile. I mean, I guess that's what I said. It's not going to work unless it's a really well-made missile. And it was. Good work, J-How withness. That's... my mouth doesn't like that name. Hard to say. Solomon's getting plasmaed. That's bad for the Solomon player. It's also just sitting here. His beam cannons aren't canting to target. He's not burning towards his opponents. I think this guy's just AFK. Maybe someone rang the doorbell. Maybe his pizza arrived. Seems like his weapons control isn't even on free, otherwise these would be turning to fire. Well, these are probably out of range of those beams at this point. Which means you're gonna die, buddy. Oh, he's back! He's back! Just had to take a short bathroom break. He's back, though. Plasma hits on that starboard flank. Those look like 450s coming out of those Ocellos. Plasmas plus 450s is a absolute disaster for Solomons. And they're the smaller cannons. I think those are the T-30s and the T-20s. Yeah, with that fire rate, definitely. Boy, things are going down. So let's look around a little bit, make sure there's not anything more important happening. No. Oh, these guys are getting into a fight. Alright, what kind of... I'm gonna go up there in a second. What kind of... CIC do you have this way? Citadel. Okay. So this is going to be alive for a really long time. Let's go up here. The FedEx attack dogs. Okay, so these are offensive missiles, but he doesn't have enough fuel in them. I don't think these are going to reach the target. Because they exploded, like, immediately over here. Yeah. Yeah, also size 1s are extremely vulnerable to AMMs and flak and really everything. However... oh, man. Missile voxel doing some work against this monitor fleet. As previously stated. And these guys, oh, all onto the rear. That's a big problem for you. Yeah, this one's... both of these are pretty much skunked. Still alive. That reactor is going to explode. He's got 2 restores, which is something. 2 restores over here as well. And this drive is also going to explode. They'll probably be repaired before they can explode, but yeah, that's still very bad. Beams are getting into range. Oh man. How's that Solomon doing? It's dying real fast. And it hasn't done any damage. Awesome. Yeah, the only damage is the missile that this guy ate. Are these monitors firing? Ah, they're firing at the voxel team. That's probably the best use of that plasma. Voxels do have more armor than keystones. But I think they're going to have a hard time hitting the voxels because they're coming at them. Oh, they're not coming at them head on. They're coming at them broadside. These missiles and the laser beam. There's just too much here for this monitor team to handle. Way too much. There's 1, 2, 3 actually. 3 fleets because I think there was... No? Who was following you? Oh, right, this guy. But he's way back here. He's still firing though, or fighting. Not at the current time. Yeah, 3 fleets versus 2. So, not good. This battleship has lost his escort and is going down. I think these Acellos are just going to slowly mop him up. And he's losing turrets. Trying to repair drives. Trying to repair a radar panel. Okay, so this guy's brand new. It's unfortunate that you have gone that way. Ooh, there goes one of the monitors. Unable to fix his drive. What about the other one? Oh, he did fix it. Like explosions. ANS team. Yikes. Yeah. Keystone does have decent angling though for deflections, at least the midships. This one, oh, okay. A little damage coming out. That's not gonna be able to get back up on its feet in a meaningful manner. I mean, it can participate, but it's pretty much toast. Oh, basic CIC. Speaking of sagas continuing, basic CIC, don't put it on your ships. They're gonna get shot out of the sky. They're great on scout ships to save points, but you really need to reinforce if you don't want your frontline boats to get oopsie-doodled. Swagendolf is heading for Alpha. While the missile voxel in the rear continues to provide fire onto these monitors, and it is way too much for their limited PD. Highly effective. And now Swagendolf is participating in the missile hits, although that's, yeah, bonk. Okay. 1 hit, not bad. But presumably his Type 2s are a little cheaper than 3 hybrids. So that's probably same point efficacy, more or less. And his Keystone team is done. As Solomon is done, continues to be done. Wonder if it ate any rockets. Yeah, this guy rocketed that Solomon. That's why it took so much damage so fast. OPA, the Cello team continues to lay fire into him. Okay, he's officially dead. These guys need to loop around back and fight this force. I think this guy might be running low on missiles. Yeah, 6 missiles. Spent a lot of it, but did some good damage to this monitor team. Fortunately, I think these Acellos are a higher priority target. But obviously he doesn't know that. Because this voxel squad is definitely going to be able to clean up these monitors. They're so beat up already. 250s aren't amazing against monitors, but they work. Is he firing AP though? Because those are better. Yeah, looks like he's primarily firing AP. More missiles coming from the top. Oh, the Sprinter team! I forgot you were in this game! They've finally made it. They've launched their payload, and looks like the very limited point defense of the monitors is able to handle this. That's really not good. How much? Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna get out of there before we all go blind. Yeah, and that was most of the payload of these ships. That's extremely unfortunate. I got into the fight, but they just didn't do that much. We just got to be close range, real close range, or be fast. These voxels taking significantly more damage than I was expecting from these monitors. I'm not sure why their butt is facing towards the monitors and they aren't trying to fire. Another explosion. That's probably the Solomon. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely Zolman. So Solo's getting an angle on the voxel team. These voxels are really getting compressed between a rock and a not too hard but still firm place. Monitors are definitely the lower threat, but they are still a threat. Oh man, this voxel's taking a lot more plasma than I thought he had. This Keystone's, this Reigns is going down like there's no tomorrow. Plasma and T30s into Reigns, big problems. His monitor team is doing surprisingly well. I was expecting it to get annihilated by now, just with all the firepower that was coming at it from so many different angles. But monitors are tough little ships. They're real boxy. OSP still up on points. Looks like they're going to be even more up on points as the scout heads for a completely open delta. What are you doing over here? You're just hanging. No, Battleship can do amazing on Aorta. You just didn't play it correctly. You gotta play around cover. You gotta be sneaky. You gotta be clever. I mean, you kind of need that on all your ships, but you need it even more on beam battleships because they're so close range. It's very important to fight smart. Oh yes. These voxels are trying to get looped around and stay out of the range of the bow-mounted plasma cannons. And it's working. Some of these monitors are beat up enough that they can't really turn effectively, but two of them are able to fire. Oh man. And they've run into the very beaten. What happened to you? I have no idea what happened to this guy. Presumably he got shot up by the Keystones and the voxels when they were up here. Yeah, I must have just totally missed that while I was paying attention to the monitors. My bad. This Reigns is effectively dead. And these voxels are working so hard. Like, yeah, that wasn't a hit. It's died very close to target. Oh, no. That's unfortunate. Bunch of rockets into that will confirm it's dead, for sure. And AMM, a very slow AMM heading to intercept those. Arriving slightly too late.
The enemy is securing zone Dagger. The enemy secured zone Atlas.
That might be a really big warhead with a small engine on it, and it's intended to be fired at a rocket blast and burst and destroy all the rockets in a blast at once. Very interesting. And Swagandolf, you're kind of the only person left in the game on the ANS team. These frigates could have done something if they went after points, but this guy just delivered his payload and then got mad because he dumped his torpedoes into a bunch of flak and then just sort of hid up here instead of capping points, which is unfortunate. I think if he tried to come down and cap points and play the point game, and his team might have been able to pull something off, but as it stands, it's really just voxels versus the world right now. The world, of course, being like 6 Ocellos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Ocellos. Well, we'll call out 4 3/4 of an Ocello. And these guys can retreat to the top of the map, but that's not going to do anything for them. Yeah, he knows. He figured it out. Very nice. Applause, applause, applause. That was a good game. ANS had very interesting builds. I liked it. I liked looking at it. I'm pretty unimpressed with the flanking torpedo team. I think you either need like spam type 1s or maybe type 2s. Or hybrids on sprinters, or guns, if you're doing this sort of strat. But just a couple sprinters with some really expensive missiles is a good way to have all your missiles blown up by point defense, which is very unfortunate. This guy tried. He tried very hard to be clever, and he got punished horribly for it. Jodan Baker over here. Did a lot of work with these monitors, just generally being a menace in the middle of the map, coming up through this Bravo Alpha Delta line. The bad line. Yeah, the bad line. I'm calling it the bad line from now on. Or the dab line? No. It's definitely the bad line. And just messing around over here and keeping a huge chunk of this team locked down while the Ocellos handled the alone Solomon, which had bad positioning and no team support. Really need team support on battleships. This tug apparently has missiles on it. Oh, okay, those are names. He's just firing off to be a silly Billy. And then this frigate guy just kind of went off on his own. So half the ANS team just kind of did their own thing, and the other half fought in the middle, whereas the bulk of the OSP team fought in the middle. Which is a big problem. Big problem. This guy refusing to surrender. Why would you do this? Yeah, okay. Well, I guess we're just going to be made to wait. No, there he goes. Awesome. Very cool, very cool. Mad props to everyone who recognized that the game was over and actually surrendered instead of just running the clock down and wasting people's time. Seriously. Thank you a lot. 0 damage dealt on this Solomon. Oh, man. Yeah. Don't do that. I guess for any of you who want to bring a Beam Solomon to Aorta, don't do what this guy did. This could have been really strong if he had reinforced CICs in these beam stones. But with the basics, they just got shot out from under him real fast. The missile voxel. Good work on this missile. Holy shit. Great work on this missile voxel. Oh, look at that. It's pretty rare. Well, it's rare for me to see this many hits on a missile ship. And I prefer playing missiles, but I usually see a lot of hard kills. These hybrids. Just killing it, dude. Killing it. EOs. Oh yeah, EO and command? That's kind of weird. Because I don't think OSP... No, they have laser dazzlers. It's the ANS that can't do anything about EO. That's cool. That's real cool. Also used a hang up. Unfortunately, wasn't able to catch anyone in a minefield. That's always funny when that happens. How did the sloth do? He didn't. Yeah. Just all of his stuff got hard killed. Alright, next guy. Swagendolf, MVP of the ANS team, no doubt. Just fighting and fighting and fighting hard. Right in the middle. Not quite 18k damage. But he fought. Is that an HEKP on a size 2? No, okay. The line ship eater. Unfortunately, he didn't fight any line ships. Because that would be really good against those, if you can hit them in the bow. Nice monitor fleet. Two of these monitor ships did something. They did a lot of something, but yeah, the rest of these got punched out by missiles, although that did keep the missiles from the Ocellos, who I imagine did a lot of something. No? Low damage on these guys too? I guess because a lot of the ANS team surrendered after they had kind of lost the strategic game. There was less damage going out than one might expect for the game overall, and the OSP team was really light, tonnage was. 20k on these. Most of this, I think, was just pounding into that Solomon. Yeah, low damage game. Very interesting. Fun little game. And a short game on Aorta. Strong OSP victory. Be careful with your battleships, folks. They can be used to great effect. Don't pay any attention to the people on the Discord who are like, battleships are worthless. You just gotta be really judicious in their application. Yeah, that's the end of the video. Good night.